Just waiting for people to come on live. Hey, computer, phone. Hey, Nay. Hey, deal with me. This the computer right here. I'll just let my intro come. So my webcam over here, my computer right here, and my cell phone is right there. So just doing a live. So just work with me. This is my first time doing this, and now I want to go ahead and get started. So I don't know what that's all about. So, no. Okay. Okay, let me go back. Okay. Okay, there I go. So now I'm live on the computer and just waiting for a few people to get on, see if I see anybody. So I just give a few minutes for people to get on my live. And it's not going to be that long. Bless you. Okay, that didn't post the video. Okay. Bless you. You know what? Let me tag. Let's see. Tag a few people. Let them all know I'm on live. And, that's why I gave them a 28, 30 minutes heads up. So about 7 o'clock come. Okay, one person. Okay, and I don't know who that person is, but thank you for joining. And just waiting for somebody else to go ahead. So announce yourself, whoever you are, if you can, if you don't mind. And is that you, Kenneth? You know, I'm not sure. Okay, and that person is off, or no, they still on. Hello, number one. Who are you? And then again, if I'm talking and I'm looking different ways, this is my cell phone right here. This is my computer, and then here's my webcam over there. So I'm just looking in like three different directions. So just waiting for somebody else to go ahead and come on. Well, let's see, it's 7:04. I probably give 1 minute, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start talking. And it's a 10-second delay. Well, on my computer it is. My cell phone is not, but just one more minute, and then I'm just gonna just go ahead and talk, and then just go ahead and cut it short. I was expecting more people to come on, and like I just said, this is my first, so just put myself out there, to be heard, not necessarily to be seen, but just to be heard. And then probably can catch the replay later once, if you're not able to view it or watch it now. Okay, well, it's 7:05. And I'm just gonna go ahead and talk. So, just a little bit about myself. My name is Tamara Blankenship, and I go by the spoken word artist name Charisma. And I used to spell charisma Charisma. That means, charismatic, you know. And I say within the past couple of months, I maybe since 2019, God or the Lord has given me and broke it down to charisma with a K, So I'll just sit and the way he kind of, brought it to me, and I'm just looking back, my daughter go upstairs. The way he brought it to me was, charisma with a K, and it's like, karma. It's like when you get karma is out of it. And I was like, okay. And the type of person I am. I'm like a master wordsmith of words. I like, playing around with words or whatnot. And let's see. So, there's good karma and there's bad karma. And, on my, I guess the icon, it's like a picture and it has the shirt and it says karma or charisma with the ears highlighted in the middle. And it says you got served what you deserved. So sometimes when, how I can say this, sometimes when the karma that we probably have done to ourselves, which maybe was self-inflicted, so maybe to doing somebody else, sometimes our karma come back to us, but I believe it's to teach us a lesson, you know. So, like I said, the topic is what love got to do with it, and tomorrow's Valentine's, and I know some people in relationships, some people, single, and I used to did not like, Valentine's because I felt like, humbug. I've treated it like Christmas. I was like humbug. I was like, I don't like Valentine's. I don't got nobody. I ain't with nobody and stuff. But then, the relationship I was in, not too long ago, it was decent, and show love to an individual, to a person and stuff. But then, being back single, I went through this period where I was like depressed, and I would just go on Facebook, and if I see a certain meme, I'll be in my feelings. Sometimes I can relate to it. Sometimes I just like the what if the meme, and I'm just overshare and share and share and share on Facebook instead of dealing whatever I had to go through. What was in and what was bothering me. So I know some people might put their business on Facebook, or they might be venting and stuff, and I guess we kind of treat it like a diary or whatnot to put our thoughts. But it's like, don't let people know all your business and stuff like that, which is true. But with me, I'm more like an open book. A lot of people don't know a lot about me until you get to know me. And um but I'm an open book because whatever I have been through, I like to help another person help to get. I guess I like to help people to get what they have to go through, you know, or whatever. And, meaning that, I won't, well, I had a problem that I kind of enabled a lot of people. But what I came to find out is that there's relying on my strength so much that it drained me because you can't pour from an empty cup, and sometimes you have to love people from a distance, and then they have to do their work. I can tell you this and that and be the ear for you and tell you, some advice, but at the end of the day, I feel like whatever you have to go through is only gonna make you stronger. So that what it did for me. I had to, self-love myself, back to health. You know, um, I had to love me all over again. So, that's why I said, what's love got to do with it? Love is everything they got to deal with it. And not just, love, but, healing, self-reflection, your self-worth. And, excuse me, I know you probably see some products if you haven't, or, checked on my page, as I was going through this health healing and self-worth and just self-reflection, instead of just putting everything, out, because sometimes if you keep a lot of stuff in, eventually, it's like you're gonna just explode. But sometimes you have to just, balance that and find something to, even if you have to meditate. And I'm a quiet person, so, sometimes I just, self-reflect and I just meditate and just, to myself because, sometimes things could be like, too much of a distraction, or whatever. And, sometimes we just need that peace, within ourselves. And again, like I said, my phone right here and my webcam over here, computer over here. So again, if I'm looking in different directions, but yeah, So like I said, with my shirts and my products, it's basically the stuff that I've been through. So now, instead of putting stuff on, social media, I still might share time, but I do it in moderation. So now, be on social media or not, but then I'm now putting my ideas, to write that vision and to make it plain and do it may tarry, wait for it, and it should come to pass. And that's even in the Bible, Habakkuk 2 and 2 and 3. And so I put my ideas on shirts. So I have this one shirt. It's called let's see. It's basically kind of like a self-worth, it's like I know my worth, but do you know yours? And I feel like I knew my worth, but then I didn't, or I felt like I maybe settled. Yeah, that's what it is. I probably, settled and stuff. So it's like I always knew my worth, but sometimes you just get tired of waiting and being impatient and like, where's the guy for me and vice versa, the man, for that woman and stuff. But sometimes we have to love ourselves. So that's why I said again, what love got to do with it? You got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Because how can and like I said, it takes more than love because when things hit the roof, man, it's like, man, especially dealing with a partner, it's gonna be times that you don't even like the person, and stuff. And I know, like I said, tomorrow is Valentine's, and sometimes you can be in a relationship, but not in a relationship. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like it's like your body's there, but your mind is somewhere else or something. And then you think what you're ready for, you're not, because now you're dealing with this person who's really a self-reflection of you, like a mirror. So sometimes they mirror back the things in you for you to work on, and then vice versa and stuff. So I even have another shirt. It's a couple shirt. It's called a tough mind and a tender heart, and the title Strength of Love. So it's it takes that strength to and especially takes God. That's my number one. So like I said, even in my book, the way how the Lord had gave it to me, I came out with a book in 2011, and it's entitled "My Story Is a Mystery That Reveals My Truth and Love Poems." And the way the Lord gave it to me, it was like a blueprint. And after a while, I had got derailed to not even follow my own blueprint when it was there. And what I mean with that, is like the cover of my book, right here. That's me, as a little girl. Let's see. And sometimes we don't deal with the childhood trauma, within ourselves. And then as we get older, we get into relationships that we know we didn't have no business, being in with and stuff. So sometimes when we act some type of way, it's that inner child of that trauma that we never dealt with, that we have suppressed it, and then the relationship don't work. And then, you get into this relationship and that relationship and stuff when we have even really have that relationship with ourselves or had that relationship with that little girl, to heal her or him. So then we probably do find that one person, that one love, but then maybe we sabotage that love because we so used to dysfunction, and then we end up putting all the weight on that person. They can't handle it because they even dealing with their own self, you know but then whatever we go through, I feel like it's a learning, process. It's you have to sometimes go through something. I feel like life is the best teacher. Sometimes you could tell people don't do this, do that. Sometimes we hard-headed, sometimes we rebellious, sometimes we gonna do it anyway. And like I said, that karma, you know with the karma, it'll come back to us because again, we went ahead and did what we wanted to do, instead of just stop and just to think and to be like, man, I shouldn't, do that. I should wait, or whatever. So, even with that, I feel like whatever you go through is a testimony and it's a test in order to help yourself as well as help somebody else. And then with that, is God. And I know a lot of people is not maybe as spiritual, but sometimes it's feel like you might have to get to that point that you feel broken, to the point that you be like, you know what, I'm tired of jumping to relationship, and we just fall, and to be humble and to be like, I can't deal with this no more, and to to seek the God or whatnot and stuff. So then we have that relationship, with God, and for God to be able to, to heal us, and with that, it seemed like everything, the pieces come together, and it starts to end up, just working out, for itself. So like I said, it's a process from intimacy, which is intimacy, to looking for love in all the wrong places, to this is just for you. And again, whatever you have been through. And thank you for the heart. There probably was Kenneth. I don't know who that was. Say hi so I can know who that is. And then agape. God's love, and that's the love. And then I feel like at that time, that's when God starts speaking to you, whatever your dreams is, and what your talents and what your gifts is, in life. And it seemed like at that time they come together and stuff. But sometimes He got to get us our attention in order, to be whole. So then when He do connect us with that partner, what they have and what I have, and then we come together and we that forced to, to be reckoned with. So with that being said, hey Garrett, hey, how you doing? And thank you for coming on my live. Yep. So I don't know. You probably can watch the replay. I've probably been talking for the past 10 minutes, so I don't know what you missed or whatever. But like I said, thank you. But I just telling, uh, you know, Facebook about my book. Let's see. I don't know if you see it. Like I said, my phone is right here, and then my webcam over here, and the computer right there. So somewhere everywhere. So I just telling them the blueprint of what God had gave me, years ago. I wrote this book back in, 2011, and at the time when I came out with this book and stuff, that was the same year my dad had passed. So I believe my dad had passed, I believe in July, and my book came out in 2011, and I'm getting ready to do a book signing, like, what, 11 years later, here in Gary, Indiana. So, sometimes we have to like put our dreams on hold. Thank you, thank you. So sometimes we have to put our dreams on hold, and especially raising children. We have to put it on hold and then kind of get back to it. So, like I said, I feel like, God, He's on time and stuff. So I'm gonna I wanna read a poem, from a book. And, like I said, Valentine's, tomorrow. So this is what I wrote. So it's called Love. It says, Agape is the God's love sent from heaven above. Filial is the friendship love, people whom you speak of. Eros is the sexual love, sex that you cannot get enough of. Friendships come and go. Platonic help you grow. Affection let my feelings show. Passion fell in so deep. Committed play for keeps. Infatuation can't go to sleep. Romantic, some say it's gone. Puppy, first feeling, time to move on. Sexual, he, she got me sprung. Love gives, lust takes. What love are you going to make? So, with that, like I said, sometimes people get that love and that lust, mixed up. What they think is love is really lust. And, like I said, sometimes when you dealing with that what I can say, that spirit of a person, whatever, we have to, be careful of, of different, people's spirits and stuff. So, like I was I don't know how much you had missed, but I was saying before that, um, on social media, a lot of people, how can I say this? A lot of people, they may so-called put this act, on Facebook or whatever, or, they want the likes and the loves. And I'm a type of person, I might put something on social media and maybe two people like it, seem like people like a lot of garbage, then, then some real truth or, deep knowledge or whatever. So sometimes I like my own posts, and I know people like, that's weird, she liking her old posts and stuff. But I was like, I had this saying that I say, I was like, if they not liking, I know they looking. So, not to be arrogant or to sound cocky anyway, but like I say, had to go through a transformation to self-love myself again. So the next time that God work on me to bring that person, then, but until then, like I said, I'm working on my dreams, I'm working on my gifts, I'm working on my talents. I'm getting back to, Tamara Blankenship. you know thank you. And like I said, I have three girls. I have a 19-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, and I have a 7-year-old, so all girls. So I have to be that example for them in order to self-love and have that self-respect, for themselves. So when they, get older, all my girls, they have different talents, within themselves, and I feel like as parents, when we see that gift in our children, I feel like, start them young, where you speaking life into them, that you speaking like, to get little, gifts that you kind of see in them, and invest in them, not just invest in yourself, but, invest into your kids so they can, have that legacy. So, if anything happened to us, our kids will be straight, or whatever. So, that's what I'm doing, now, investing back in myself, from doing books and about to do evangelizing in 2020. I want to do an RV. I don't know how I'm gonna get the RV, recreational vehicle, but I just believe the Lord is gonna provide. I take one step, He gonna take another. So I want to go around, the U.S. to evangelize, to tell people my story, because everybody has a story. Even in the Bible, people had stories, and um, the way the Lord had gave it to me. Um, my business name is called Spoken Word Mini Stories Ministries. And again, I'm a type of person that I like to play around with words. So when he gave me ministries, ministries is really mini stories. The mini stories throughout your life, you know, and even with that and stuff, it's like nobody can tell your story better than you can. I don't care if it's a story that you might be ashamed of and stuff, but as you go through the transformation and the healing and the hurt and just go through it, because then you could be transparent, with people. And I think that's lacking in the world today. So like I said, somebody been like, what, I've been through that, what you've been through. I can relate, to you. And I feel like that's really like, true ministry, to be able to for people to sort of story. So, like I said, with my t-shirts, and I'm gonna do pop-up tents, like in big cities, like maybe Chicago, maybe Detroit or Michigan or Minnesota. You know how people showcase their talent, either if they dancing, singing, playing the violin. So what I want to do is create a platform where, you know, I was involved with this prayer stand last year with my pastor, doing street ministry. And but I want to kind of do mines this year. So with that, I'm gonna do like I'm gonna get me a tent. One day it might be, like a prayer stand. The next day it's gonna showcase your talent. The next day I might be selling something. The next day I might be giving, free stuff to the community. And then the next day, I would like to put a documentary together where people is telling whatever their story is. So somebody might be like, my story is rape. My story is sex. My story is alcohol. My story is abuse. And I want to be able to have people tell whatever their story is, and then tie all these stories, together. Okay, all right, you had to get back to work. Okay, all right, thank you, Garrett. So stories, for them to tell their story, because like I said, your story, can help, someone else. So let's see, it's 7:25. Probably talk for 5 more minutes, and I was waiting for my other friend to come on the live, and then my children's father, unless he probably working, wanted him to join the live. But like I said, maybe next time and stuff. So like I said, I'm not the type of person that I gotta have a whole bunch of people to look at me and stuff, because I feel like if I touch one person, if I touch one person, then I made a difference. I get to heaven, and the Lord said, good and faithful, servant and stuff like that and stuff, because a lot of people can have a lot of followers, and even Jesus only had 12, and Hitler probably had a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm a type of person, heart to heart, to be able to talk to that person one on one, or whatever. So, and actually, speaking of work, I have to get to work as well. I work at home, um, as an independent, contractor. So, I had to be to work like around 9 o'clock, and for anybody who's interested in working at home, being a single mother, I remember I had to put my kids in daycare and, go to work, and then they get sick, and I have to, call off work just to get them to take care of them and stuff. And then yeah, my kids, being sick, and then that would cost me my job to be like, oh, you can't keep on being absent, and they sick from school, and then they sick at daycare, and then I have to take off. So with that being said, I had to, well, I say maybe last year I had to, no, I say 2 years ago, I started doing work at home. From home. So right now I'm doing surveys online, real easy, $10 an hour. So if you want anybody want information about, work at home jobs that they could do it in the comfort of their home, pick your own hours, excuse me, then, I'll give you that information, because I'm about, if I see some information that helps somebody else, then I will, give that person, that information, for, people to be, independent, within a self. And like I said, invest. So I'm going to go ahead and, sign on out, and just, thank you for listening to my first live on Facebook. Hey, Facebook, and hey, Facebook, and hey, Facebook. Okay. Okay. So, like I said, um, hopefully next time, um, I will, talk on something different, and, have a few more people in to be able to interact with. So, thank you. And just one more thing with the book. If you're interested to buy, you can go to bookstamppublishing.com. You can go to amazon.com, barnesandnoble.com, and it's called My Story is a Mystery that reveals my truth and love poem. So I want to, hold it up here so you can see the name. And like I said, it's not just to, buy my products. My products is, I feel like it's an investment, because you just never know what gift that somebody is carrying that they can pour into you. So like I said, I'm about encouraging and motivating people to live out their dreams, and to speak some, some wisdom. Alrighty. All right. Well, thank you, and peace.